Welcome guys! Today we're talking about why Ruby is one of the best side laners and even roamers in Mobile Legends right now. But you know what? I think a lot of players have forgotten just how powerful she really is. Ruby shines not only in the EXP or gold lane, but she can also dominate as a roamer. With her second skill that delivers a clutch stun and that deadly ultimate that hooks enemies right back into the fight, Ruby can completely change the flow of a battle. In the early game, as you can see, the enemy had the upper hand, and that's totally fine, because I was still building my War Axe. Once Ruby completes this item, the real fun begins. War Axe gives her that perfect balance of damage and sustain. Every time she swings her scythe, she stacks up power, boosting her physical attack and movement speed, and you can really feel the difference in fights. After getting War Axe, Ruby turns from a tanky fighter into a relentless brawler who just keeps chasing, stunning, and lifestealing her way through the enemy team. So after finishing your first item, War Axe, the next thing you'll want to grab is Queen's Wings. This item is absolutely amazing on Ruby. It gives her that extra layer of tankiness while keeping her damage strong. When her HP drops low, Queen's Wings kicks in and reduces the damage she takes, letting Ruby stay in the fight way longer than most heroes can. Plus, the lifesteal boost during its effect works perfectly with her skills, turning her into a true life-stealing monster. With War Axe and Queen's Wings together, Ruby becomes nearly unstoppable. She can dive in, soak up damage, and still come out swinging like it's nothing. After completing your second item, Queen's Wings, the next one you'll want to grab is Oracle. This item is a game changer for Ruby. It boosts her HP regen, shields, and lifesteal. Since her playstyle relies heavily on her sustain during fights, Oracle makes her even harder to kill. Every time she heals with her skills or gets that lifesteal going, Oracle amplifies it, keeping her HP bar bouncing back up again and again. With War Axe, Queen's Wings, and Oracle combined, Ruby becomes a real nightmare to deal with. Tanky, life-stealing, and constantly healing while dishing out crowd control non-stop. As you can see here, the enemy has almost doubled our total kills, and that's completely fine. Don't panic, just stay patient. Ruby really shines the longer the game goes on. The later it gets, the stronger, and honestly the more annoying she becomes for the enemy team. And for your fourth item, make sure to grab the Brute Force Breastplate. This item is perfect for Ruby. Every time she uses her skills or basic attacks, she gains extra movement speed and both physical and magic defense. Brute Force works beautifully with Ruby's playstyle since she's always dashing, stunning, and pulling enemies around. The more she fights, the tankier and faster she becomes. This lets her stick to her targets, soak up damage, and still keep up the pressure in every skirmish. Combine that with her lifesteal and sustain from the earlier items, and you'll have a Ruby that feels unstoppable, spinning, slashing, and shrugging off hits like it's nothing. Right here, you'll notice we managed to even out the kills. Just like I mentioned earlier, patience is key. With good timing and solid map awareness, you can always turn things around, no matter how rough the start was. Ruby might not dominate early, but once you stay focused, pick your moments, and rotate carefully, she becomes a real problem for the enemy team. It's all about staying calm, reading the map, and waiting for that perfect chance to strike. One good team fight, one well-timed ultimate, and suddenly the game shifts in your favor. And for the fifth item, it really depends on the match. You've got to build smart based on who you're up against. In this game, I decided to go with Antique Cuirass, and trust me, it made a huge difference. Facing heroes like Saber, Hayabusa, and Yuzong, this item is a lifesaver. Every time they try to burst Ruby down, Antique Cuirass reduces their physical attack power, cutting their damage and giving Ruby more time to fight back. It's especially effective against assassins like Saber and Hayabusa, who rely on quick combos. Their damage just melts away when they hit Ruby with this item equipped. And when Yuzong dives in, Ruby can hold her ground, absorb the damage, and then counter with her crowd control and lifesteal. So if you're going against heroes with heavy physical burst or sustained fighters, Antique Cuirass is a must. It keeps Ruby standing tall, spinning through the chaos, and making those high-damage heroes regret ever jumping in. If you haven't tried Ruby as a roamer yet, you've got to give it a shot. Once you learn how to manage her skills properly, timing your stuns, hooks, and lifesteal combos, you'll see just how impactful she can be in setting up fights and saving teammates. Ruby's crowd control can easily turn messy situations into clean victories when played right. And hey, if roaming isn't really your thing, no worries. Ruby still shines in the EXP or even gold lane. Her kit works beautifully there too, especially during team fights. She can zone enemies, lock down key targets, and sustain through tons of damage. What's great about Ruby is her flexibility. No matter where you put her, she'll always find a way to be useful. So go ahead, give her a spin in your next match. Whether you're roaming, holding the lane, or joining every team fight, Ruby will make sure the enemy remembers her, and not in a good way. When fights break out, her sustain and control can change everything, especially when you know how to chain her second skill and ultimate smoothly. And let's be honest, Ruby is one of those heroes who gets better the more you play her. She's all about rhythm. Once you master her skill timing, you'll feel like you're dancing through battles, chaining combos, and keeping enemies locked down non-stop. But until you get there, she can feel awkward and slow. So Ruby's not the kind of hero you pick to instantly carry games. She's the hero you pick when you want to outplay opponents through consistency and control. If you understand positioning, patience, and timing, she rewards you big time. But if you go in without a plan, she'll punish you just as fast. In short, Ruby isn't overpowered. She's balanced but deadly in the right hands, and that's what makes her fun. And right here, I made a quick recall, but you know how it is, haters will say I died. So if you've made it this far, don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment down below. Tell me, who's your main hero this season? It's always interesting to know which heroes you guys are dominating with. And hey, don't go anywhere just yet. The second game is about to start, and trust me, it's going to get even more exciting. Grab your snacks, sit tight, and let's jump straight into the next match. In the second game, I picked Ruby again, but this time the match was even tougher. The enemies were sharper, the fights were tighter, and every move mattered. In this game, you'll notice the enemy team is full of tanky heroes who can easily invade the jungle and pressure early. But like I always say, if things aren't going your way, just stay patient and delay the game. Ruby becomes a monster in the late game, especially with her incredible crowd control. Even against tanky enemies, she can still manage fights, control the tempo, and turn things around when the timing's right. Now in this match, my public teammates were a trio, Lancelot, Alrot, and Obsidia, while the enemy trio clearly had better coordination. Their timing, positioning, and control were just on point. It wasn't an easy match at all, but even with the odds stacked against us, I gave it everything I had. I focused on setting up plays, locking down key targets, and trying my absolute best to carry the team. And that's the life of a solo rank player. Sometimes your job is to carry the whole team on your shoulders. And in this game, that's exactly what I did. I gave it everything I had. And right here, Alrot spots the enemy slipping into the bush, so he decides to check it out. And boom, he gets deleted instantly. 1 second he's curious, the next second he's gone. Sometimes curiosity really does come with a respawn timer. Now, let's talk about her playstyle. Ruby is a control-based fighter. She thrives in chaos, in tight spaces, in those messy team fights where everyone's diving and panicking. Stunning enemies, pulling them together, and giving her team room to breathe. But she's not invincible. If you dive alone or mistime your skills, she can get punished hard. That's why patience is her greatest weapon. She's not about rushing, she's about choosing the perfect moment. That's what Ruby brings, control and consistency. That's why Ruby excels in team coordination. Whether you're protecting your carry, healing for your mage, or setting up ambushes, Ruby gives you control over the pace of every fight. Now imagine this, the late game arrives. Everyone's stacked with items, the pressure's on, and every death could mean the end. This is where Ruby thrives. While other heroes start to fade, Ruby becomes the stabilizer. Her sustain keeps her alive when everyone else is melting. Her crowd control disrupts enemy combos, her timing decides who wins that crucial Lord fight. She doesn't just survive the late game, she owns it. But let's be real, Ruby isn't perfect. She's not the kind of hero you pick if you want instant kills or easy carries. She's for players who love outplaying opponents through mechanics and decision-making. She's for players who enjoy reading the game, setting traps, and punishing mistakes. Playing Ruby teaches patience, awareness, and timing, skills that translate to every hero you'll ever use. And maybe that's why players who truly master Ruby never really drop her. There's something about her gameplay that feels personal. Every fight feels like a duel. Every combo feels like a statement. You're not just spamming skills, you're performing. It's a rhythm, a flow, and when it all clicks, it's art. So if you've been thinking about trying Ruby, this is your sign. Whether you're roaming, holding the lane, or leading team fights, Ruby gives you control like no other hero can. She teaches you to stay calm, adapt, and turn bad situations into highlight moments. At the end of the day, Ruby is more than just a hero. She's a test of patience and precision. Every game with her is a story. Sometimes it's a comeback, sometimes it's heartbreak, but it's always exciting. And right here, the enemy managed to take the Lord. But guess what? We turned it around. We won the team fight and went all in, trying to end the game right then and there. And as you can see here, we were so close to ending the game, but then things went downhill fast. The marksman and jungler got caught out of position, both of them went down, and of course, Alrot decided to join the party and dove in too, only to get deleted instead of defending the base. And just like that, boom, we lost the game. That's the life of solo rank, my friends. Sometimes, no matter how close victory is, one bad decision turns it all around. But hey, if you made it this far, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment down below which hero I should try next.